One question I get all the time is what home buyer assistance programs are available out there. So today I have Reyna with me from CrossCountry Mortgage to answer some of these questions. What home buyer assistance programs are available in Minnesota right now?
That's a super good question. And there's not a blanket answer for that. But in Minnesota, there's like 179 different programs that you can take part of. You don't have to be a first-time buyer. You can be a repeat buyer, but also we can kind of drill it down to where are you buying. So it can be a loan or a grant. It can be per county or neighborhood. And then there's also a super common assistance program. It's called Minnesota Housing, just throughout the state of Minnesota. But typically, there's thousands of dollars available that either you pay back or it's just forgiven, which is super helpful.
So can you tell me a little bit more about the Minnesota housing programs like Startup and Step Up?
Yes. So Minnesota Housing has two types of programs. Startup is for first-time buyers and Step Up is for repeat buyers. And typically you can get anywhere between $14,000 and $18,000. But Minnesota Housing is very specific on your credit and your income. So you have to have a minimum credit score and a maximum income limit per family. So you want to be sure that you get that checked during pre-approval, because it's super important to make sure you fit within their guidelines to receive that money.
So a lot of times people are worried about what they can qualify for. So how much do you qualify for, and is it a loan or is it a grant?
That's a good question. And a lot of times people are like, I can get so much money, but I can't afford to pay it back. Not always do you have to pay it back. So a lot of lenders automatically offer their own grants. For instance, CrossCountry has a $4,000 grant for first-time buyers that you just never have to pay back. That's super easy. $4,000, I think everybody could use that towards their purchase. Some of them you do have to pay back per month. And so just kind of knowing what is out there, but specifically working with a team that knows, your scenario, and you get that established during your pre-approval, and then focus in on the area that you're purchasing to.
And is any of the assistance, I think you kind of answered this before, but is any of it forgivable, or do you have to pay it back over time?
There's a lot that are forgivable. So searching those out first, I think, is most important, because who doesn't like free money? I think that's super cool. And then some are paid back over time, so sometimes 10 years, and then some are paid back just if you ever sell the house. I mean, sometimes you might not ever sell the house, so that money will just honestly sit in the equity of your property.
And then is there any restrictions on how the assistance can be used? So closing costs or down payment?
Yes. So typically we apply the assistance towards your down payment first, closing costs second. There are different types of loans where that can be used to fix up the property as well. Never can it just go back to you, essentially, after closing. It can't be money in your pocket. Specifically, it always has to be used towards the purchase of the house.
Are these programs compatible with VA loans, FHA loans, conventional loans?
All loans. So you can typically find any sort of assistance to pair with your base program. So whatever your lender tells you you're qualified for, any of those programs that you just mentioned, you can always stack assistance on top of it.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for answering these questions. If you guys have any more questions, Reyna and I work together all the time, so feel free to reach out.